As far as past conflicts that I've had to deal with, there was one example that I can think of when I was an intern in the accounting department for Level 9 Sports, where we figured out that one of my jobs was to input invoices into our invoice processing system, and we discovered that invoices were getting double paid. And so um, my boss came up to me very upset, understandably, that invoices were getting double paid. And what it really took was a conversation and kind of diffusing the conflict and making it into a kind of finding a solution for the problem rather than just focusing on the problem. So immediately I took responsibility for it. I understand that my job was to process the invoices, and so there's in some way I've messed up. And so once I've taken that responsibility, now we look for a solution. And that meant going through the invoice processing system and kind of seeing where the issue was coming from. And the issue was that there was like you kind of copy and pasted information over into the system, and the system itself was seeing ones as eyes, and it the copy and paste feature wasn't working. And so that's a problem with invoicing, because the invoice system makes sure that you can't duplicate exact invoice numbers. So when you let's say that there was a 111 invoice, that was the invoice number, you copy and paste that over, and if it pastes over as 1I1, then that means that invoice is not going to be, it's not going to match their system, and so they'll send us another invoice. And it was a complicated process. But once we kind of figured out that there was a problem and acknowledged the issue, then we could just focus on the solution. And he obviously, we were both pretty heated, but at the end of the day, we were able to put that behind us, and then kind of work towards an answer to the problem rather than just focusing on that conflict. So I think the big thing is communication, and then following up with results. So as long as we're getting better and we can see that there's an issue and we correct that mistake, and then see the origin of that issue and correct that mistake, then I think that's going to develop a positive work environment that is able to figure out a lot of conflicts, because obviously there's going to be a ton in a business setting. So that was definitely a situation that helped me learn how to deal with conflict. And a big shout out to John Robinson, my boss, for giving me that experience and teaching me that.